Hello everyone and welcome to another art session. I'm going to be working on some... Hang on. Yeah, I'm going to be working on... Oops. I'm going to be redrawing some of these characters. Like this, I want to clean them up. This one's probably the best out of all of them, and I just need to clean up his pose. And then, after that, I think I'm gonna... Hello! Thanks for dropping in. Thought I'd do some work on D&D stuff today, and then after that, draw some creatures. So, should be an interesting session. Hope you had a good day. I went by slow, but it was okay. Where's my... Oh, it's not open. It's one of those work days where you make... Early on, you make the mistake of looking at the clock, and then you're just like, oh no. Every 5 minutes, it's like glacial. It's like, what have I done? I've doomed myself. Oh yeah, it's gonna... Yeah. Yeah, these were made using a random generator. Well, not random generator. It's the on the on the D&D page or some page that is based on D&D where essentially it has a randomized button, and what I do is I click that and then I just draw whatever they have on the screen. So that this was like this half orc mage character who was kind of like a Punisher kind of character. He had like a... Oh no, that's the other guy. This guy was I forget what this guy's story was. It was... I didn't save the page, so essentially he was... I think this guy was... This might have been the one that was just a good guy that was on a quest, essentially, I believe. I forget. But, yeah, just thought I'd clean up some of these, because, like, this one looks pretty good already, but the other ones really need some polishing. Like, this is the Punisher guy, and I was just roughing him out. He needs to be cleaned up a lot. Because really, I want to push his design even further and make him look even more. Because he's supposed to look just more like fancy. Like he's got more of a like a royal, clean cut kind of look, but he's clearly a broken character. Like maybe once he was proud of his station and like acted accordingly and was like a kind individual, but like maybe something really bad happened and now he's kind of this kind of like Frank Castle kind of character where he's just like any infraction on the law and he just goes nuts. That's too high. I just want slight shoulders on this. Of course. I just have that timing, don't I? Well, on Friday, I think I might push I might do the stream earlier because I think we did that. Didn't we do that last week? I think we did. And I kind of like ending earlier if I can, or like being able to go longer but not have it be so late at night. Because then it's like the problem is I'll just lose people quicker because people want to sleep after a long day of work. So I think I will start at 6 on Friday. So hopefully hopefully it won't be happening again on Friday. But I have that with some of my streamers where like they'll just be starting when I'm like about to go to bed or something, or like and it's like, oh man, I really want to stay and talk, but I can't. I gotta go to work tomorrow. I can't watch this whole thing. So yeah, like I'll definitely do that. Oh, I can't remember if I talked about this, but I was listening to the interview with Travis from Critical Role, and he was talking about like all these animated projects they have, and apparently, at least with the upcoming Mighty Nine series, they're gonna be an hour each. Which, how cool is that? Like, I hope that doesn't mean, because I'm always nervous when it comes to, like, streaming services. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think out of all the streaming services, Amazon's surprisingly one of the better ones. But, because I think they're one of the only ones that didn't drop cartoons when everyone else was doing that. But, my only beef with them is that they have this thing where like they prefer studios, at least when they're starting out, only have like 12 episodes, which is kind of annoying. Yeah. Yeah, I bet. That's but yeah, but I am pretty excited to hear that. I'm even more excited that like some of the guest stars from that were have been working on have showed up in the campaigns are actually going to start appearing in the shows, and I'm just like, thank you. I mean, for one, just giving those talented voice actors some work, and secondly, they were really fun characters. Some of them had some really funny appearances too. That I wish they could have like hello. Just talking about animated shows. Like first we were talking about like just streaming in general, cuz but I was just saying how like the Critical Role just said that their shows are going to be like Mighty Nine's going to be an hour long. But I hope you had a good day. Sorry, that wasn't much of a greeting for you. Hello, Purple. I hope you had a great day. To find some good, like, fabric. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Kinda. Maybe. Sort of. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry you've had batter, but that's you. Yeah. Any weekday is I feel that way sometimes because like work actually wasn't too bad. It was just kind of it dragged a little bit, but it wasn't a bad day. I started just burning through some of my podcasts that are on just through YouTube, and I have a lot. So well, this is some cool stuff. How did I miss some of these? Oh man, I do not get that now. I have this weird thing that keeps happening on Pinterest where like I'll load an image and then it will just disappear, and I don't know why it's doing that. Because if I don't, if I can grab it fast enough and put it into my Pure Ref app, then I can at least have it. But it's just strange that that's happening even. Have huh? Yeah, that sounds like it could be kind of tricky. Controls the pose. Then cuts the picture in half. Huh. Huh. You know what? I can now that I've reworking this. I might change this from a scroll. I don't know. I had him holding a scroll only because the book didn't work with the way his hand was. But I think if I turn his hand, I can make the book work. So I think I'll do that. Kind of just like have him holding it open. What is with all this weird? Yeah. I'd say go to what was it called? Hang on, I'll look it up. I think it's called. Yeah. Hang on, I'll put it in the I'll put it in the chat. Oh no 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 no. Hold on. Just gotta. Oh wait, I've been doing this the hard way. Just do this. Yeah, hold on. Pop, 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 pop. Because they have, I think they have free ones too. There's like stuff here, obviously. Wait. Oh, here. Oh, yeah, okay. I'll go to something that's like, yeah, like these guys. I'll just open this so you'll be on the right page. But essentially something like there. That's a pretty good one. They have a whole bunch of really talented and a lot of different body types too now. So you can get a lot of poses on there, and they're all really good. And yeah, I would recommend that one. Because Pinterest, you don't know what you're gonna get, and it could be like, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh wait, I was looking for some. Oh wait, where's the thing I was looking at? Let's go back to drawing this book. This guy holding a book. I thought I had an image of that, but I lost it. Let's go back. I guess I don't know where I went, so I'll improvise one for now. I can just. I can always fix it afterwards. Yeah. Because I believe, if I remember right, wizards need to have their spell books anyway, and like shows like Freeren made casting spells from books look cool again, I'd say. Like with the Clepothax. Oh, him. Oh, you mean purple? Because is someone else doing D&D stuff tonight? Because I just randomly chose to do random characters. Like what I do is I go to the site and I randomly I click randomize character, and then I just draw whatever it tells me without looking at the image that it shows, and kind of just create my own version. So yeah. Yeah, it's fun. I do it whenever if I get like some well, this time it was because I'm kind of I'm not really doing any art challenges for this month, because I have like other things I want to do anyway, like work on my channels. So when I'm not doing that, I kind of wanted to have something fun to do though. So I was like, wouldn't it be great to go back and like work on just having fun, just drawing random D&D characters, like, because it's always fun to kind of like, especially when this time they came up as like more humanoid ones, but I have drawn like other more unique races, like the let's see, I'll show you. I did a lizard folk and a saurian, if I can find them. Here they are. Yeah. Hello! Thanks for dropping in. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, it's just fun to draw D&D characters sometimes. They're just like, there's so much you can do with, you got so much like leeway with what you can do with them. Like, as long as they're not like shonen anime power deities, like you could just like create any like any representation of a character you want. Nice. Cool. Oops. I'm trying to iron. Huh. I'm curious. Like, I got invited. Well, there's this one person at work that's trying to start up a D&D group, and they invited me into theirs. So, I told them that we probably need to find a DM because I would be a terrible choice for a DM. I haven't played D&D in so long, so I would be like, I would need like time to study. So it's like, the rules of this game, of course. I know these rules. No, I don't. Even after watching Critical Role for like years now, I'm still like, every time they mention a rule, I'm like, oh yeah, that is a rule. It's like, I forgot. I would be just as bad as like Travis, where it's like, oh right, that I can't do that, I forgot. It's like, sorry. Thank you. Yeah, I'm working on a. I was making some progress, and then it kind of slowed down. But I am working on a VTuber version of this model. Like I had a couple other projects over the summer I was working on, but then so it kind of like was pushed to the back. Like Art Fight, I think, kind of slowed down my VTuber, but it was fun. I'm glad I did it. Got to make art for some really cool artists I hadn't seen before. But yeah, now it's gonna be. I can't wait to show that off. Well, ironically, I've accidentally shown off the model a few times on here because I always forget I have the file open, and I'll be like, oh yeah, oops. Here's my Here's something I was supposed to have as a secret debut, but now you guys get to see it for free right now. Yay! Uh-oh, Spadios. But yeah, no, I'm excited to show that off. Yeah, that art fight took a lot of time, and I tried to do I don't know how some people like got up into like really high numbers, and I understand that like a lot of people did like either like busts, which I think next year if I do it, I'm gonna do mostly just that. I'm not gonna do, because my problem was I was like, this person made an awesome character, I want to make an entire story and setting for this character. And it's like, meanwhile everyone's like, else is just like, yep, I made this little drawing of your character, and I'm like, but that's not fun. I want to give them the time that they deserve. But next time I think I will just like do some busts instead, because that takes a lot less time. Because I was like, oh, here, I'm going to draw this forest behind them, and there's going to be a huge, like, fire, and there's going to be this, like, they're going to be floating on a, on a rock with all these other boulders around them, and it's like, a lot. Maybe next time don't go so crazy out of the way to, like, overwork myself. Like, next time I'm going to just be like, you know what, I'll just do what I can do. Also, I'd like to make an, even though I am working on that the VTuber, I would like to make another PNG tuber for either like, because I've seen people who do that will revert to a PNG tuber with for a redeem or something like that. So maybe I'll just either like clean up this one so it looks a little bit more updated. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. It's like making a more updated, clean version of this one, or maybe make a seasonal version of this one. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I think I also kind of like at first, like for the first week was, and I mean, a lot of people probably did this. I tried to only focus on the other team at first, and the problem was, if I had done what you're talking about, oh, sorry, they're being they're being obscured. Sorry about that. Yeah. But yeah, I should definitely just prioritize beforehand, because if I had done that, I probably would have been able to put more effort into the drawings for my friends that I wanted to like put the most effort into those. I still got really good drawings. Like Blue, I'm really happy with how yours came out, Blue. That one, that was really cool. And then yeah, here I'll show you Blues. I'll show you a couple of them because I had a lot of fun. Oop, where? Oh, right, they're in here. this was, yeah. 1 second, it's gonna. There's that one for the Blue. That it'll load in a second. It's like the latency for some has gotten a little bit longer lately. I need to find a better way to. I need to find a way to make that go down a little bit, but there we go. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that came out. And that's what I mean by like I really wanted everyone to have like, I mean, some of them more than others. Like I had this one too, like this, but they all. Yeah, I'm really happy with how they all came out. They were. That is true. Yeah. So this is what I was. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how they all came out. So, and these are I think it doesn't help that these are a lot of. Although I was working on redoing my comic character, like I wanted to make her oh well, when it loads. Well, I'm working on this is what you're gonna see in a second is a June Steele song. Yep, here we go. She's my comic character, and she's a bard, and she's trying to save her mother from a calamity that might like pull her. It's like a rift, and she might get pulled into the fairy realm, and there'll be no way to get her back. So yeah, she's gonna. I was trying to make her design a little bit cleaner because I have these good references for me, but they're a bit painterly, and I wanted to make a better line work. So yeah, I thought I would do something. Oops, sorry. I'll move them over a little because I'm once again hiding her. But yeah, I'm really excited. They are cool, and I thought a more modern, considering like everything I've seen with like the Vox Machina show and everything. Like a more modern version of a bard I thought would be really fun with like an actual like electric guitar. Kind of like Dresden Files kind of is how it's gonna be, where it's like modern setting but with fairy folk and that kind of stuff mixed in. And the instead of demons, it's gonna be the undine. I mean the unseelie, which are pretty close to just demons, but they're just like they're fairies that are evil essentially. They just cause calamity and they're the ones that are like, when they spirit you away, it's very bad. Those are the story, because oops, where's that one I was working on? Oops, nope, I'll find it. Oh yeah, I was working on this. But yeah, because normally there's things like yeah, that's cool. It's funny you say that, because I was gonna give let's see, I'll open this up. I have I made this like a familiar character that was gonna be yeah, here she is. I'm working on like cleaning up her design. And with the fairy folk, I kind of went. I'm like, you know what? They don't have to. With humans, I'm gonna be like more like practical with their clothing, but with fairy folk, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna make them like Final Fantasy characters where their clothes just don't make any sense, but are fun. So I'm trying to like come up with a design for her. She's like this like yeah, she's kind of like a kitsune. Yeah, she's a forest spirit, so I thought a fox would be fun. So she's she could technically just be a kitsune, honestly. Cuz she is she's a trickster. So I know that fox demons are known for being tricksters too. But yeah, I was just like playing around with her design. At first she was going to be wearing a mask, but then I changed it so it was just like, no, it's just her face. Like maybe there might be a version where she does like, yeah. I know, like the dress with the swirlies. I purposely just made her like just so totally out of control with her chaotic design. Yeah, let's finish this guy up and then we can. Yeah, I wanted to make her more. Oh, and here's the I'll show you the Richard's design is really fun too. Oops. Oops. 1 second. I think I already have them open. Do I have them open already? No. Oh, I was also. Well, there's one version of him. You'll see in a second. But I'll open the more interesting one too, if it lets me. It says it's already open, but it's not. So I don't know what it's talking about. What you talking about? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Yeah, well here's... Anyway. Yeah. That's cool. I like that. That sounds... Yeah. Because it's gonna live in her guitar. Like it... And pop out, like, once in a while to, like, help protect her. Like a guardian kind of creature. Let's see, where did he... Oh, here it is. Yeah, here's a better one of Richard. This is Richard Steele's song. He's this is June's father. He's ex-military from this, and they had this like battalion, this unit that was like trained by the elves to use magic. So he joined it, and he can conjure any weapon he's ever made, and he's made a lot of weapons. So he's like, oh, I forget her name, but was it Ten? I think was her name from Naruto, where like she had that scroll where she could just like pull out any weapon. But the difference is his weapons are all imbued with different magic. So it's not just that he has a lot of them, it's that they're all very unique. So he can just like be like, oh, I'm fighting ghosts, so I have this like this small mace that can just like destroy or purify ghosts, and I know how to summon it without like summoning 100 other weapons. Also, he's actually stealthy too. Like he was kind of like a Black Ops kind of unit, so he was like a solid snake sneaking around. Which I kind of made purposely because I think it's kind of funny to make a guy this big and then make him like stealthy. But then again, I guess Batman's stealthy and he's a big dude too. So but yeah, the and it's funny because like with each of these characters, I've found something to make them really fun to draw. And can you guess what is? I'm sure you know, but like, can you guess what makes him fun to draw? I'll give you a hint. It's on his face. Like drawing that mustache is so much fun. It always makes it adds a layer of difficulty to like drawing expressions, but I've seen so many shows with like side characters who have obscured faces anyway. I mean, Kakashi is one of the most popular characters in all anime, and he wears a mask like his entire time on the show. And the only reason I think you know what he looks like is because you see his father in the end. So you're like, oh, okay, he must look kind of like his dad. Yes, exactly. That's what what this was. I made him before that though, but I was so happy to see that being done in Dungeon Meshi, and it worked out so well. Because there's so much that you can tell with the eyes that I think that sometimes people just go, you know what, we don't need to worry about the I mean, the mouth helps, but like if you have good expressions with the eyes, then you don't need to worry. And Studio Trigger is great at drawing expressions. They really know how to push their expressions. And it's so funny that they made that anime that they were the ones, because like normally they're like drawing like crazy things happening, like people fighting and their clothing explodes off, and or like giant mechs are throwing galaxies at each other. you know, typical stuff, that everyday stuff. But then they did the Dungeon Meshi, and it was like much more low key and much. I mean, there were some pretty big battles later on when the story got more intense, but like they were so good at just like showing relaxed moments too. And drawing food. It was, yeah, it wasn't their like rigid. I mean, they're not rigid. They're gestural kind of animation style. Yeah, because usually they have a very like yeah loose, energetic look. But I think when they really want to, they can easily just shift and be like more refined if they have to be. Maybe like a tiara thing. That's cool. I think that's pretty good. I can just clean them up. But yeah, it's just fun. Oh, well, yeah, panty and stocking is just lunacy. It is just pure, just like outrageous, like fun. Essentially, I watched a little bit of it, and it's not one that you want to watch if you're like, oh, I'm in a mood to watch something serious. It's like you watch that because you know you're gonna watch something goofy. Like, and the lucky thing for me is I knew it was gonna be all bonkers to the wall when I started watching it, so I was not disappointed. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see some goofy, like, funny jokes, and I'm just gonna laugh and have fun. And yeah, because if you go into it being like, oh, I want a good shonen story, it's like, I don't know if this is for you then. Wow. I'll come back to him, but I just want to get to these other guys that are, you know, a lot more work. Yeah, one thing I really like about Trigger is that their characters are all so unique from each other. Like, you put them all in a room, and like, even like if you just do silhouettes of them, they really stand out against each other. Man, we're getting a lot of techno late tonight. Even though I said only instrumental, it seems to be ignoring me. But that's really cool. I'll definitely have to check that show out. What was I doing? Oh, I was gonna. Oh yeah, I was gonna show some more of the characters from the comic. Let's see, where's Grace's page? She not in this. Oh, here she is. Like, wait, what? Wait, is she here? Why is she? There's that. Oh, here she is. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was like, wait, what? Yeah, this is the mother character. She's like kind of like a researcher that's studying the effects of all these rifts opening. Ironically, she's studying all the effects of that are left behind when these rifts open up, because it like terraforms parts of the planet and changes the flora and fauna, like the animals and plants. And she's trying to find ways to stabilize them, because sometimes they don't survive. Like, so she's trying to save as many as she can. Very druid look, yes. I've had people have told me that, and I agree. She's like a druid slash like kind of alchemist kind of thing is her kind of like background, kind of like maybe I might give her some druid magic, but like she mainly uses I might show her druid magic later, and at first she looks like all she can do is alchemy, which in itself is pretty useful if you know how to do it. Like, if you have a bunch of different potions, you can do some pretty crazy stuff. I mean, I remember in Skyrim, I could make my character just like One Punch Man with the right potion. So, yeah. Oops, get rid of that one. So that, yeah, they're all very different from each other, but like fit together in a scene. So. Yeah, well, she can definitely see through her like that crow's eyes if she wants. Like she can do that shared vision thing that they have in D&D. Because I mean, they weren't the first person to think of that either. Like, there's been several books that have gone into like characters who have a bond with their familiar. Yeah, when I was drawing this guy, I was kind of thinking of Saito Hajime from Kenshin. Kind of just like a very stern kind of character. Oh, and I forgot to show her assistant. If I can find a picture of. Oh, here it is. This is Nyla Winters. I'll show you. She'll pop up in a second. They can, yeah. Yeah, this is a she's a been like she's from. At first, I was gonna make her like a human that was like changed into a dragon, but then I'm like, wouldn't it be easier just to be like, she's from the fairy realm and she's a Seelie, but she's like a water spirit, like she's a like dragon type humanoid, and she's got a mastery of water. Like she can just do anything she wants with it. To a degree. I mean, but within her power. Like it's free reign rules essentially, where it's like she can like lift a small pond if she has it near her, but she can't just like make it pop out of nowhere. Although maybe she could pull something out like yeah. Exactly. I guess, yeah, that's the easiest way of describing her, is a white dragonborn with, yeah, ice, because water is just a form of ice too, so ice magic or water magic, either one you want to say. And she's essentially like, she wants to become a researcher as well, so she's like shadowing Grace and adding, like, also being a bodyguard for her, kind of, on the side, because she knows there's a lot of nasty things in this one area that they're in right now. So she insisted on coming along for this trip. True, except there are dinosaurs even that actually did live in. There were theropods that lived in colder areas. but yeah, they probably wouldn't like but the Earth was warmer back then in general, so yeah, they probably scientifically wouldn't like that. But she's special because, like, I mean, white ice dragon, doesn't really. But yeah, Saurians would probably be like, not a fan. I'll give him some. I'll give him some chops. Big mutton chops. Kind of. I was gonna go more like clean cut, but this is almost more fun to make his hair a little bit more pointy a little bit. I was thinking that too, like maybe a thin. Yeah, like one like starting down here maybe or something. Something like that maybe. Just maybe even just trim it up so that it looks cleaner, because like, yeah, he's supposed to be a paladin, so he's got this very supposed to have a very clean, refined kind of look to him, outside of the fact that he's perfectly fine with vengeance, like living a life of vengeance. Like the one thing it said about him is that his emblem is a black heart. So thought it would be cool to put it like that on just on a pauldron. Yeah, yeah. No, I don't. I want to keep them simplistic and not go too far into like making them busy. Like, I might change the way he's holding his weapon though. Like, I might make it just like his hand down like this, and then it's just like that. I figured an axe might be kind of a cool weapon for someone who's like thinks of themselves as. No, I haven't. Dungeon Soup? No. Huh. Yeah, I figured that would be kind of cool, giving him an axe, since he thinks himself as like his own sees himself as an executioner. But I'll have to check that out. Where can I find that, actually? This is a better question I should ask. Is that on Crunchyroll or is that somewhere else? Okay, cool. Kevin. Cool. I'll definitely have to look into that. Oops. I'll definitely have to check that out, though. I have, I, I started to listen to I might have to try and get back into it, but I was listening to Adventures for a little while, and they do have some fun. There's some really fun shorts for that on YouTube. It is like over the top goofiness. It is really fun. Sometimes it gets a little bit too rowdy, and I think that's what kind of threw me off. But it's still worth checking out, I'd say. Like the the clown haunting the one guy was really funny. Like he accidentally like killed this one clown and that was part of their circus because he punched him too hard, the barbarian character, and now he's haunted by the clown, and the clown, part of the curse is the clown shares too much. It's like an oversharer, and it's like I don't want to know that. Stop. Okay, I'll have to check it out then, because because like I said, my only problem with Adventures is that it kind of didn't have breaks. like they were just like so chaotic at times, and I'm just like, guys, can we make some progress? It's like you've been in this one spot forever. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give him actual like armor instead of just leggings. I'll be wearing like. Okay, cool. That sounds fun. I could be. I'll have to give that a shot because. How are we doing on time? I think it's a good time to switch over to drawing creatures. I've been drawing this for a little while, and I said I was going to try and do that too, and that's going to take. That's going to be much harder than this. So I just want to just clean up this a little bit more, and then I'll move over. Should he? I don't want him T-posing, so I'll try and put this arm down more. Maybe pull this in too. Cool. I'll definitely check that out though. That sounds fun. Cause yeah. he's wearing like a dragon scale like cloak under this. Maybe that'll just be like a... They change his shield too. That's kind of a boring shield. That's kind of a... Maybe he'd be more of a buckler, actually. He'd probably want mobility. So he'd probably have something more like this. Like a small... Yeah. That makes more sense. Something more like this. I think it's... Maybe it's just me, but I'm going to just fix this because I think his head's a little big. There. Or... Yeah. I think it's just because, like... It looked right before, but when you think about it, that those aren't the real length of his shoulders, then that head was way too big. So now it's a little better, I think. And it's a little more proportioned. I'll definitely clean him up a little bit more, but I'm liking this design more now. I'm glad I went to the smaller buckler because that makes him a lot more mobile. Like he can just sprint and then just like use it to like deflect weapons, but not have to worry about it being like in the way. So he can be a lot faster. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, let's... Whoops. Not that. Not that. Not that. Let's get where is it? What was it called? My reference page for... It's... Oh, line of action. That's where I'm going. If I can find it. Maybe I can just put that in there. Yep. Thank you. Thank you, history, for remembering. Although this isn't going to help with dinosaurs. This would help with animals. Well, let's see. I don't think it has dinosaurs. I think it just has... Yeah, nope. Just birds, so that wouldn't help. Never mind. That's a great site, though, but not going to help us here. Okay, dinosaurs. Okay, I was like, wait a minute. I really want... Oh, that's so cool. I want it. There's a statue of a T-Rex, like it's like one of those anatomy things though, where it's got like part of the muscles are showing, and I'm like, I want it. It looks so cool. Let's see what we could draw. Probably. Oh, that would be kind of fun. Start with Oops. No. I don't want to go... Guys. I just wanted to load the... I didn't want to visit the site. I wanted a bigger picture. But I'm thinking maybe do a mix of... Like something from the... No! That sounds pretty cool. That's a great image. I'm gonna save that for my webcomic. A picture of a T-Rex roaring from, and it's from, because I have a, I'll show you. I do have a, well, like you saw, she has a baby T-Rex behind her, and it's because it's partly mutated. And if I can find the image, which used to stand out, but now I have so many bright colored things it's hard to see it. I'll show it later. Because I had a bigger picture of what its mother looked like, and she was just like a fully grown T-Rex with like roots coming out of her back and like antlers, because she was like part Leshen or like dark forest spirit. I don't know why I can't find it though. That's weird. I think it would be right there. Who knows where it is? Yeah. But anyway. Oh, that sounds cool. I'll definitely have to check out, look that up, because, yeah, that sounds awesome. Where'd it go? Yeah, you know what, we'll just get to work. Trying to think which dinosaur to start with. I think, because I'm thinking maybe start with the Triceratops. Yeah, let's do a Triceratops, or something from the Ceratops family. Yeah. Oops. Much like with humans, I like to start with the torso to kind of like figure out where everything is going to be. I mean, I'm kind of just drawing its shape, and then I'll refine it down with whatever I'm going to mix it with. Which I'm thinking, like unicorn would be kind of cool to mix with a Triceratops. Like give it that like have the end of its tail just turn into have some hair on it, like the end of a horse, like a horse's tail. But like, I don't know what I would do. What else I would do to make it more horse-like? Because they definitely can't have the horse legs. That would not be able to like hold up a creature this big. Trying to do a more like yeah. Just trying to find a fun way to. Oh, you know what? I can make the Ceratops horns have the that cone-like look that unicorn horns have, like that. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, just give it. You're right. Just like I'd say, give it like more like bull. Yeah, like almost like bull kind of like hooves, like really huge and heavy. So it's got that. It feels like it could hold that. Or like bison. I mean, you know, like a really thick, huge leg. Yeah, I think that could work really good. Change where the tail is a little bit because it's going to be a little bit further back now. Except their tails don't do that. Their tails are straight, so. Because their tail is all about balance. I don't want to change that. Well, yeah, I was thinking of making the feathers look like. I was gonna give it like feathers like a bird, but make them look like horse, like hair kind of coming out of the legs. Maybe like the only. Yeah, now that I think about it, that makes the most sense. I made that leg too high. There. And the fun thing is that like we have no idea. Well, we know we're finding out more about the color of dinosaurs, but like a lot of them it seems follow more like the rules of birds where it's like there'll be like patterns on some species were more prone to having like being highly decorated, and others that had to be more stealthy are obviously going to have more like earth tones that match their environments. So I imagine that would be the case for this fellow as well. This Or this might I'm trying to decide between like well, if we're going for horses instead for the coloring. I don't think so, because according to research, the T-Rex had vision that is like 30 times better than us. So like, but even so, in other words, like around, if not like slightly better than a hawk, which makes the first Jurassic Park movie kind of funny when you think about it. It's like standing still is the worst thing they could have done. Getting under a tree or something would have been safer. There's this one YouTube artist who redid that and made a very unfortunate end for them. Where it just like comes out and then just like gulps both him and the kid down. It's like, oh no, dark. It's like, yeah, they're... And like, I guess there's also like contested views on like how fast T-Rexes were, because like some people think they were like more slow because they didn't have to be fast, but like then you hear people who I'll tell someone like, oh yeah, a lot of people think they ran like between like 10 to 20 miles an hour, and they're like, I can run that, and I'm like, what's your mile time? Like, I know I can't. Because I didn't say how long they could run that far, too. Like, they might be able to run that for, like, miles. But some of them could have been possibly, if it wasn't so, I mean, like, you never know with certain things, but I think for the most part probably not, because they would have needed color to probably find, like, herbivores would have needed color to see certain fruit, unless they had really refined smell. Yeah, that's the kind of the thing I always say. I'm like, it's like, guys, also you're not thinking about, people don't think about like, oh, it only ran that fast, or like the other argument they try and give me is like, oh, it would much rather eat a stegosaurus than me, and I'm like, well, of course. But if you're right there and there isn't a stegosaurus around, what do you think it's gonna do? That's like saying a bear would rather have like a bunch of fish, a bunch of salmon than you, and it's like, yeah, but if you're invading its property, its environment anyway, it's gonna take care of two birds with one stone by just taking care of you and having a meal. And they also forget that T-Rexes were family. They were like, they ran in family packs. So you may be able to, even if you could outrun the parents, which that would be a feat in itself. The kids run faster than the parents and are more agile. So yeah, that's where your trouble's gonna be. That's better. It would, yeah. They could, and also like that famous scene from Jurassic Park. And keep in mind when I'm saying all this, I'm not criticizing the movie, because back then we didn't know any of this stuff. Like, Michael Crichton, when he wrote those books, was consulting specialist, so he wasn't like, he was doing his homework, and then some. Like, he definitely wanted to be accurate. It's just that back then we didn't know as much because we didn't have, like, access to, like, other countries' findings as much, and, like, I think what we found a lot of dinosaurs with feathers in China, actually. So we, like, having paleontologists from here confer with them has definitely yeah. Well, yeah, they can't decide, like, how it's oriented and, like, what it, like, some people say that Jurassic Park wasn't that far off, and others are like, no, no, no. It was much more of a, like, subdued design. It had much more of a practical look to its body and face. So, yeah, I can see why it's like you like that, because it still allows for the imagination to go a bit wild. Because, like, the T-Rex, I mean, I still like it anyway, but, like, it has been demystified a lot. Like, now they have, like, images of, like, T-Rex anatomy. Like I said, there's a statue here that shows, like, how big they were. And, like, it's funny because I'll tell people how long they are, and they don't sound that impressed. And the same thing probably with the Spinosaurus, where you tell someone how big they are, and they're like, "Hi, I thought it was bigger," and I'm like, "Guys, these weren't kaiju. They're still creatures that, like, could live on this planet." Although, I mean, Titanosaurus was like that. That herbivore was huge. That could be a kaiju. But, like, theropods, I mean, they're all about efficiency with their height too. So, like, the T-Rex was, I think, what, like, I'll have to look it up. I think it's, actually, no, I'll look up the Spinosaurus size because I'm curious. Spinosaurus reached, whoa, yeah, that's big. Because, yeah, Spinosaurus reached length of 14 to 18 meters, or 46 to 59 feet. Woo! That's big. So, yeah, because the T-Rex was 40 feet around, or 43 at the, but they say they could get bigger than 43, so, but, yeah, with them it was more about the bite force. Which is why that one scene from that Jurassic Park movie is incorrect in that part, because, like, the minute the T-Rex has the other dinosaur in its mouth, it's over with. Especially a neck bite. I mean, don't, like I said, Spinosaurus is very cool, but unfortunately in that scene, that would have been the end. Yeah. Let me see what that. There is. I'm gonna look this one up too. Soon. Oh yeah, this thing, the thing that was in the more recent Jurassic Park. Was it? I can't remember. What did they? Were they carnivores? Sorry, I'm just looking this up. Because I know in the movie they make it scary because they're like, oh, it's a creature with claws, we're going to make it aggressive. But I think they use those to scrape food off trees and stuff, kind of like moles. Use their claws for that kind of stuff. Or like how gorillas have really sharp teeth, but it's to bite into like the hard fruit that they eat. Theropods. If it's a theropod, it probably did have meat in its diet, though. I mean, most of them were. Okay, they were. Okay, yeah. Okay, because there are theropods that are herbivores. Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, it cut into trees and kind of knocked them down and probably, yeah. But I'll definitely draw that. I think I will draw one of those next. That is a pretty cool one. It's just that Triceratops is one of my favorites, so I had to start with that. I might even give it like the I forget which one this was called. I think I really liked this guy because like they always showed him the Triceratops standing up to T-Rex. Like it was like an herbivore that could easily just like be a bit cause a T-Rex to have a very bad day. I was gonna give it like some like an exo. Nah. Oh, maybe just some patterns. But, yeah, we'll leave that there for a pattern. But didn't really. Well, I guess the whole point is it's not like it has to be 100% like the thing that I'm trying to get it to be like. Because the point is that it's got elements of that creature in it, not that it's gonna like it mutated or it took a weird path and took on traits of certain fairy folk creatures. So this one could be like, because that's actually something in my comic too, is that like, yeah, like I said, things get terraformed or changed. Yeah, that's still really big. Considering that like even like the later like distant relatives of dinosaurs like terror birds were smaller but still like stood up to like saber-toothed tigers, which weren't tigers, I believe, if I remember right. But anyway, they yeah, they were big enough to stand up to them, so yeah, that's still very impressive size. Especially for an herbivore to be like that big, and I'm sure that made them like one of the last things that a carnivore would think of as easy prey. It's kind of like people think like anteaters are really just goofy, cute things, and then like you scare one and you find out quickly what those claws can do. Like they're made for cutting through stone, so and like pulling up their prey from underground. So I mean, they can do damage. Yeah, I could easily see why that was a threat in Jurassic Park. Because I think I've talked about that on this channel before, where people think that the minute you say herbivore, people get calm, but it's like, no, no, no. Nay, nay, I say. You should not get calm when you hear herbivore, because bison are herbivores, and they can, if they're scared, they can just run you over like a bus. Like they're to be respected, and you don't want to mess with any kind of herbivore in its area. You want to make sure they're as comfortable as possible. And to be fair, even in the Jurassic Park movies, they show that, because when they went in this, I think it was in the second one, when they found the Stegosaurus were not happy to see them, and almost like crushed them. And it's like, yeah, you're a stranger in their area. That they're not gonna like that. Man, this music's weird today. Sorry. Oh well, this one's not too bad. But they're. Oops, let's get our image. Oh no, that's not the page I need. There we go. It's back here. Maybe the, yeah. I can play around with the size of it, but, let's go. Oh, I gotta need to find that name again. I had another image. T-Rex. No, I went back. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, they're quite big. Trying to think what I'd mix that with. I'll be right back. Let me get some water. I was gonna use my, oh, here it is. My circle. Okay. Let's look up some different fairy folk. Oh, I'll use that book. I was going to do that anyway. So what do you think I should do? Good or evil? I mean, seelie or unseelie fairy for for dino with claws. There's the Dinosaurs. I'm thinking kind of. I want to go kind of seelie actually, and make it more of a benign but like imposing force. Because evil could be fun too, but huh. Just looking. Sorry, I'm just looking at some of these images. I mean, obviously, the tricky part is that everything's humanoid shaped when it comes to fairies, to a degree. So I'm gonna have to like obviously stretch it, but I mean, I could always just like add the features of like that's Undine? Wait, what? I thought Undine were the hang on, wait, what? I thought the Undine were the orb. I didn't think they were. I mean, I know that there were fairies that were just humans. Huh. Well, that... I've been calling my little buddy in my arm... Well, I mean, in my upgraded version of my VTuber, I have him... He's going to be water, like a floating orb. And I was going to call him an Undine, but... I don't see... That doesn't seem to be right, because that's a human shaped creature. But I guess... It doesn't matter. Anyway, it's just a thought I had. Let's see, well, honestly, this looks kind of like, there's like the, let's see. Ooh, like the Sphinx, maybe? That might be kind of cool. Or, yeah, make it a Sphinx. Or, right shadow? Because, like, the thing with fairies is that, like, they're, like, everything. Fairies were pretty much just, like, anything you couldn't explain was fairies. So, like, a bad day, like, you stubbed your toe, a fairy did it. It's like, no, you didn't do it. Or a fairy put you in that situation. I love that there's even things in here modern. Like, I think there's a fairy in here for, like, there's an unseelie for, like, people who cut you off in traffic. So, it's, I think we talked about that last time, where it's just kind of funny that, like, oh, like a rainbow fairy. There's some really cool ones. Fateful fairy? White pan. art in here is just so gorgeous. Yeah. I'm sure there is. Oh, there's a fairy called the Retriever. That could be this one because of the long claws. So we would just really have to like just... That seems like the most... Yeah, that seems like the best thing so far that I've seen. So let's do that. Because essentially it's just like this... It actually has a long neck too. So it's a pretty good match. I just have to like give this creature some more of its features, but I think this is a good one. So I'm just reading it for a second. Oh, this creature holds on to your dreams. Like if you feel like they haven't been fulfilled, it's because this creature caught them and it's holding on to them for a later date where they will be fulfilled. So don't give up. Essentially, is what this the story of this creature. I just gotta like find a good pose for this thing. It's got a big middle section. It's funny because it kind of almost makes me think of there's that Dark Souls boss that kind of does what I'm gonna do with this character, where it's like, except it's trying to hold like its invisible child. But I'm gonna have this thing, it's holding an orb that's like represents the wishes. I'm probably gonna give it some feathers too, actually, because it definitely didn't just, it probably had feathers. Especially being an herbivore, it would want to show off. I definitely want to try and do a... Actually, that would be a... Next time we'll do a Spinosaurus, though, because there's a lot of water fairies that would be kind of cool to mix with that. Actually, that's too short. I keep from like, no. Longer. It may not be the biggest dinosaur, but it definitely had a long neck. So let's invert this actually to more like that. Yeah, that's a good. That's true. Oh, that'd be so cool. Yeah, a Kelpie. It's perfect to mix with. That would be a really good mix with the Spinosaurus. Both really scary. Both carnivorous. Yeah. I like that. Kelpie is perfect. Yeah. I'm just lucky I found this one for this guy, because I had no idea. I'm like, which fairy would be good for a creature that has big claws? You know what? I'm gonna fix this because yeah, we need a different. Let's go height 3,000. Yeah. We just need it long. We need a more. And I can just shrink this down to fit in that. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, water dwelling. Well, the crazy thing about the because I did this with I mixed a what was it? It was it was a Leshen with a I mixed one of those with a Kelpie, and I'm like, this is the worst combo ever, because Leshen are really violent and Kelpie really like to eat people. And despite this thing's giant, impressive size, it's actually, like I said, it's a Sealy spirit, so it's good. Like, it's not violent. It definitely will hold its own though if an Unseelie came near it. Yeah. Actually, make its mouth a little, well. See, that's the weird thing. Most of these renderings of it don't give it the beak, but Jurassic Park did. Because didn't it have a beak? Oh, this one does. But this is the one from Jurassic Park. Oh wait, no, it's not. Then why does this one not have a beak? Do they... Wait, let me check. Because I just did a image search. I didn't actually look at the... let's look at the actual, Wikipedia to see what does it look like. It looks like it has... No, those are its arms. Yeah. Because Yeah, I'm not seeing the skull though. I guess it does. No, here's one. Oh yeah, they have much more feathers than I I was being... I wasn't giving it enough feathers. But then again, this doesn't have to look exactly like one because it's been changed, so... Yeah, they have... Oops. No. More like... Yeah. And then, like... These are actually facing this other way. I had them facing the wrong way. Because they actually go up to the... They're like mitts. It's like they have like... So they don't go backwards, they go forwards. Which is kind of interesting, but... Huh. Kind of more like that. So... Yeah, they just have very long, these long arms that can just cause a lot of... that I guess were useful for what they needed them for, but... Definitely like... Yeah. Let's see what this guy looks like. Yeah, see, he's more slick. So I'm just gonna change. When I get the coloring in this, I'll make it the kind of like shimmer kind of colors. Like something that's ethereal kind of. It looks like it kind of has... Yeah, I'm thinking that they're like almost transparent, kind of. Like they like glimmer because this is like a... Seems like a... At least when I see of it, it's like in darkness, but it's it just fully illuminated. Feather impressions, arms. Guys, where's the skull? I want to see the skull. Oh wait, here's a... Actually, it doesn't have a beak. That's a So that the original one I was looking at is more accurate, where it's just a stretched face. It kind of comes to a point, kind of goes like that. Kind of like to a fine point, kind of. I'll give it bigger eyes because it's a watcher. Maybe those would be like just glowing. Yeah, or like this part would be like darker around the eye, almost like it's eerie, but it's only because it's so careful to watch for to grab the protect your hopes and dreams. But yeah, I'll just make sure to remind myself by putting it in like a darker tint like that for this one. You know, I'm gonna make a new document because I don't want all these in the same one. We'll definitely want a longer one for the Spinosaurus because they are really long. This is gonna be fun. Yeah. I just want to see this. Here we go. Find the skeleton so I can use the skeleton instead of the body. That's much. I'm gonna mix it with a horse. Like give it a horse head, kind of. In mane. Yeah, this is fun. I'm glad I did this one because especially after Dungeon Mesh, it was like seeing what a Kelpie looks like, or what their version of a Kelpie looked like, where it was like super. It looked cute until it got you near where it wanted you, and then it switched over to I hungry. It's like now you're my prey. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, they. Well, that's the funny thing is that they look evil looking when they want to, but they can also look like humans because they're one of those ones. They're one of the many creatures that can disguise themselves as like a handsome man or woman and just lure someone away. So I'm just trying to push that to the extreme with this one, with it being two very like apex predators in the water. Give it like a lot of teeth that were designed for grabbing hold, and because I believe that's based on the skeleton, that's what it looks like. They're kind of more shaped like wait, where'd it go? All right, it's over here. Yeah, it has kind of like teeth back here too. They're kind of big. So it definitely had like good grip. A lot of teeth to just grab onto something. Yeah. Oh, definitely. For something that's in the water, it would be more sleek. I mean, I'm going to add a little bit more fat because I don't want to... Which is why actually it's nice to have the lean into the horse for the face, because then I can add the fat from the and muscle from the horse. But like, I definitely want to give it some muscle. I definitely want to add in some muscle for the body too, because it's definitely going to be a strong swimmer, regardless of what the fin looks like. Which I could actually even make look like more of the mane. That'd be kind of cool. And then just like... Yeah, they're so big. They're so big! Like, and honestly with them I could do the nice thing with them too is like I can curve the tail because they're swimmers. Or they have partially aquatic, so yeah. Definitely. Are they though? I think they're... Well, I'm just copying the skeleton. Yeah, the skeleton has them... I was wrong. They're not really for catching. They're for... I think they're more like... Almost like croc, where they're just like making grip, but they're more for just impale and take out really quick. Because like, if you look at them, they're actually pointing outwards, like away from the face. So that's why I have them like that here. Like the ones up in the front are facing out of the mouth. Yeah, that's what it is. It's for ripping. You're right. Which I don't. These two would definitely share that in common. Kelpie and this would both... I think I kind of want to keep... Do I want to change its arms into hooves, or do I think I'm going to keep the hands. And just have the head and the mane be the part that's the Kelpie. Yeah. Because their mane does go far down their back. So, which is like, part of it is that they had... Yeah. It did, yeah, I can see. This is why I love using the skeleton instead of just like artist renderings sometimes too, because like then you get a much more like definitive like version of what the creature looked like. Because like you can say all you want about like what it looked like on the outside, but the skeleton is pretty much what it is. Because like everyone's got different versions of what it looked like or how it walked. Definitely had a crazy skeleton, didn't it? it had like the... Much like the T-Rex, they later on found... I mean, it had that whole, like, it's bigger than it looks at first. Like, it's... Give it a little bit of a paunch, kind of, like, underneath. Because, like, they would definitely have, like, a lot of room for their... all their organs and whatnot. Because if you look at, like, the skeletons, they definitely have, like, a... What's that called? Like, the... Well, the, like, the rib cage goes down pretty far, so like it's like that, and then I don't need to go that far down, but point is it's not a skinny thing. I'm just gonna draw over them and I can fix it later, but this is probably my favorite one, actually. I'm glad you mentioned those two, because this is the one I think that goes the best. Like, these two are just like made for each other. So like, you could have like its tail going into there, but like all the hairs are just around its tail, giving it that like long, eerie, creepy tail. Oh, this would be another fun one to put in like murky water. Cut this off, it's not needed. That was just too much extra. Yeah, right? It's definitely got, especially if I don't leave, on this one I leave the eye out too. Just kind of like give it like these like eerie glowing eyes like an anglerfish. Because they would have red, don't they have red eyes? I think they do. I believe that was one of the ways to spot a kelpie. Kelpie was the red eye. So just make sure to add that into like a very bright, and it's going to be in really dark water, so its eye is like possibly the only thing you'll see. Like that. That's pretty, I like that. It's just very, very unsettling. Nah, that's too that's too scary. Making it reaching for the viewer. He's coming for you. Yeah, you're right. Croc eye would work too, where you could have like a. Yeah. I might do part of that though, because I kind of like the whole this arm being like reaching out almost or something. don't think it would need that. Especially being a creature of the... Well, I don't know, it looks kind of nice though. Giving a little bit of a croc eyes, yeah. Oh, it's just I overthought it. I'm like, what does a crocodile look like again? I'm like, oh yeah, it's just it is just like just that. Yeah, this is so cool. This is the best one. It's made my night getting this done. I knew this would be fun. Just coming up with different creatures. Like, I'll definitely refine those other ones because they're good ideas. But this one I think just is like so good. Like, these two were made for each other, so. You can like give it like give it some patterns that kind of look like the water, like this like kind of wavy pattern to blend it in. So it looks just like ripples in the water. And the only way to make this any scarier is if I made it like albino, but but no, I think it's good. I'll figure out a cool color scheme for this, for the either probably, let's see what time are we doing. Yeah, probably in the next stream because we're getting near the end probably. But so happy that I did this. Because I had this, I mean, I have this book, and I'm like, I gotta use it, you know? It's like, there's so many cool, like, things in this book, and I'm like, I definitely have to utilize this book for something. And like, what about dinosaurs? You haven't drawn those in a while. And much like in I might make a, I can't remember. It'd be really cool if I make the hair like the mane and the tail like seaweed. So like a really dark I can go even darker than this, actually. I just want to kind of play with the colors. But yeah, a little darker, a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty dark, actually. I think it's just because I'm using this brush. Where's that hairbrush? Here it is. Yeah, that's the hairbrush. That's something else. Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. Make it like a deep sea, or not deep sea, but like a, give it like more believable ways for it to be like really hard to see even when it is in its true form. Yeah, that's cool. I love this. And then just like for the tail too, kind of like just have like this long strands of it coming off of it. I'll leave some of it clear so you can see like there is a tail underneath that, but it's going to be all attached to this. Yeah. It's definitely gonna have like this like creepy, let's see. And since I definitely want to go probably, if not black, very close to black. We can put, I'm gonna put textures above it, but it probably would be mainly that color because like they are predominantly that, I believe, at least in most. Like I can definitely play around with it a little bit. Especially since it's, yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm gonna fill it in black, and then I'm gonna change its color scheme a little bit to match more of a Spinosaurus, what they believe their color scheme was more like. See, isn't that cool? See, like if I leave that bottom jaw, I think I'm gonna leave that white actually. Kind of like some predators have like the bottom, their, so I probably will make its bottom, like its underbelly, lighter too. Let's get to that. But this is just for quick filling in. And the backs of its hands maybe are going to be a lighter color. So almost like a killer whale kind of thing, almost. Yeah, I think I might put some cyan. I do love like turquoise, so. And there are birds that have that color scheme, so it's not like it's an unheard color in both, well, yeah, both aquatic creatures and birds have had that color. Let's see if I can get the perfect. Yeah. Maybe like its underbelly is that color actually. That's kind of cool. I like that. And making it kind of glow too would be kind of cool. Slightly, like a lighter iridescent, but not. Oh, orcas are the apex predator, are one of the apex predators of the ocean now. Like they beat up. They're tougher than sharks in some cases, in many cases, because they have they have higher intelligence than sharks. Kind of cool to mix some of the glowing into the hair, this as well. It'll be more visible when I get. I'm gonna add a glow. Yeah, that'll be cool. I'm gonna add like an add glow layer to this to make it really stand out. But like, yeah, it's gonna be in really dark water. Maybe not that dark, but like, yeah, more like that, like a murky water. Or, yeah, more like that. I might make it like a, maybe it's partially out of the water. Or like, I don't know, I'll figure it out. It looks like it's underwater, honestly, so I'm not sure. Like the way I drew it, it's very much like like underwater hunt. So yeah, it'll work. It will work it. It's a process. Wait, you can. Oops, that's not what I wanted. What? Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, what? Kind of just trying to show like it's moving fast, so it's got like some. Make them a little bigger. Is there a way to make them erratic? Yeah. Yeah, orcas are serious business though. Like they there was that whole thing with like those ones that were hunting sharks for their livers. So yeah, they don't mess around. Because they know exactly how to hunt sharks too. They know that if they flip the shark over, they know that the shark can't do anything. So that's what they do. They're just like, yeah, you're scary until I do this. And it's like, uh-oh. They know our weakness, run! And they've actually scared away great white. Because sharks may not be quite as intelligent, but they are smart enough to teach their young, or to like pass that, to know that these creatures are able to hunt them. But but I love the glowing eye being the brightest thing in the picture. I definitely want. I'm gonna try and keep it that way. I think I'm gonna do some like maybe add a little bit of glow to some of the hair, a little bit. Maybe like especially up by the face. just to give it. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. Kind of like a, definitely makes the mane kind of stand out even more. And then just like show some of the movement in the other part of the mane more with some highlights. Yeah, right? That's what I mean. This one's just coming along great, so I'm probably going to call it soon too. Yeah, I probably am going to call it now too. This is a good time. We're at 2.5 hours. That's pretty good. So, thanks and pretty much the bulk of people have gone to bed too. So, thanks everyone who dropped by, and just remember to comment and like and subscribe. Should have said that at the beginning as well. But have a great night, and I'll be back on Friday at 6 actually to do some work on this handsome fellow and maybe some more of these guys, because this is really fun and I want to do more. Like those first two I want to make into something even cooler because they're good concepts, but this one is a better just overall creature. So I want to make more like this with other dinosaurs. So yeah, look forward to that. Take care.